is currently investigating the homicide of Melina Frattolin.
A child on vacation suddenly disappeared, and the person she trusted most now facing unimaginable charges. This is the story of Melina Frattolin, a 9-year-old girl from Canada whose dream vacation in the United States ended in unthinkable tragedy. Melina and her father, Luciano Frattolin, crossed the border legally on July 11, 2025, for a trip together. Everything seemed normal. This was supposed to be a summer memory, a time for father and daughter to bond before Melina returned to the care of her mother in Canada on July 20th. But what would unfold in the final hours of their trip would shock the community. On the night of July 20th at around 5 p.m., surveillance footage from Saratoga Springs, New York, shows Melina with her father. She's smiling, seemingly happy, and in good health. An hour and a half later, at 6:30 p.m., Melina speaks to her mother by phone, a brief, cheerful conversation. She reassures her mom that everything is fine. They'll be on the way home soon. There's no sign of fear, no hint that this bright little girl is in danger. Less than 4 hours after that call, everything changes.
In an area Mr. Frattolin was suspected of having visited, members of the New York State Police Forest Rangers located Melina deceased.
At approximately 10 p.m., Melina's father calls emergency services. He reports his daughter missing, claiming a terrifying abduction. He tells police he pulled over to use the bathroom in a wooded area, and when he returned, Melina was gone. He says she was snatched by 2 unknown men who forced her into a white van and sped away. Investigators, however, quickly find glaring inconsistencies in his story. First, there's no evidence whatsoever of a white van. There are no witnesses, no surveillance footage, no digital breadcrumbs supporting his dramatic account. The Amber Alert process, already a race against time, is further complicated by these inconsistencies. Authorities struggle to corroborate key details, wasting precious hours and leaving Melina's fate hanging in the balance. It's a community's worst nightmare. Citizens share the missing child's face, police fan out across county lines, and Melina's mother waits across the border, praying for a miracle.
His initial report is he steps away to a wooded area, returns to the vehicle, and at that point, his child is gone from the vehicle. He reports a suspicious white van. He then reports 2 unknown males forced her into a white van.
But then, a grim discovery: Melina's body is found in a shallow pond near Ticonderoga, New York, miles from where her father claimed she was taken. An autopsy confirms what everyone fears. Melina was drowned, and her death has been ruled a homicide, with overwhelming evidence pointing away from strangers. With no white van, no suspects, and no trace of outsiders, attention shifts to the only person who was with Melina in the crucial hours before her disappearance: her father, Luciano Frattolin. Luciano is described as a successful businessman, a father with no criminal record or history of violence. On the surface, he's not the profile of a killer, but as police uncover the layers of his story, first blaming strangers, then recanting details, and finally breaking under scrutiny, the narrative of a devoted dad protecting his child shatters.
At about 6:30 p.m., she spoke to her mother on the phone and told her she and her father were en route back to Canada. And before Monsieur Frattolin's 911 call, he allegedly murdered Melina and left her body in a remote area where she was later discovered by law enforcement.
He is now charged with second-degree murder and concealing a corpse. Here's what we still don't know. What was the motive? Did tensions over custody and visitation lead to the unthinkable? Was it a moment of rage or something far more premeditated? Authorities have hinted at a custody battle, but as of now, no official motive has been released to the public. What we do know: a 9-year-old girl who should have been safe in her father's care was betrayed in the worst possible way. Her last hours, full of hope for a fun trip home, turned into a nightmare for everyone who loved her. And while the community grieves, rallies, and demands accountability, Melina Frattolin's case becomes more than a crime story. It becomes a warning about trust, about systems that rely on family statements, and about the fragile hope that parents always put their children first. Melina's life was stolen, not by strangers, but by someone she loved, someone the world trusted. That's a truth no family should ever have to face. But above all, this story is about Melina, a bright, lively girl remembered by neighbors as kind and funny, a student, a daughter, and to her mother, the world's most precious child. Her story is unfinished. The search for justice and for answers is just beginning.